All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we'd like to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children, listen, learning, and to the Bayasha Debadat, the house of David. This is Men of the Las Vegas camp. I am Ayash Tab.
I am Darash.
And I'm Kratza.
All right, and coming to you through the will and power of Yahweh Hashem Shai on the series part 4 that the brother Darash had prepared. It's Art of War, and we're on the fourth.
Fourth chapter. This is going to be about tactical dispositions. Sun Tzu said, "The good fighters of old first put themselves beyond the possibility of defeat, and then waited for an opportunity of defeating the enemy. To secure ourselves against defeat lies in our own hands, but the opportunity of defeating the enemy is provided by the enemy himself. Thus, the good fighter is able to secure himself against defeat, but cannot make certain of defeating the enemy. Hence the saying, one may know how to conquer without being able to do it." Can you get Romans 12 and 21?
This is the book of Romans, chapter 12, and verse 21. It reads, "Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good."
So, by good charity and good works, you can overcome the bad times. And Slovakia, it's my allergies. But you can don't let the evil overcome you, but you can overcome the evil by doing good things. And that's how we're going to get through these trying times, is by keeping our faith and keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, and doing what is righteous, and not giving in to the wiles of this world, the wiles of the devil. Okay. Next it says, security against defeat implies defensive tactics. Ability to defeat the enemy means taking the offensive. So I guess standing on the defensive indicates insufficient strength. Attacking a superabundance of strength. Go ahead and get let me read this next one. The general who is skilled in defense hides in the most secret recesses of the earth. He who is skilled in attack flashes forth from the topmost heights of heaven. Thus, on the one hand, we have the ability to protect ourselves. On the other, a victory that is complete. Go ahead and get Luke 11 and 21.
This is the book of Luke 11, chapter 11, verse 21, and it reads, "When a strong man armed keepeth his place, his goods are in peace."
So, a man's possessions are at peace. No one can take it from him because he's prepared, and he's fit and he's ready to defend what he has. So, as us having being prepared in the spirit and being deeply rooted in this, we nobody can take it from us. That's why we have to prepare our minds and our hearts, for Jacob's trouble when it comes into full effect, because there's going to be a lot of crazy things going out there, people being deceived and those deceiving. So as long as we keep this truth in mind, as roughly paraphrasing, thy wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of the times. So we have to keep. We have to study to show ourselves approved, and we'll know what's going to happen next, and we won't allow ourselves to lose that control, because we know that this must come to pass.
And that was that was Yahweh Shai speaking. It was in red lettering. All right. So that's the book of Luke, chapter 11 and verse 21. All right. That was Yahweh Shai speaking in red. And I'll read it once again just for edification. And it reads, "When a strong man armed keeps his place, his goods are in peace." All right. So his peace, and that peace is what? Once again, like the brother said, peace of mind. All right, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time. You know, Yahweh Shem Yahushai's word shall not come to him void. So having his having your mind sound, you'll have wisdom. All right, in that time, and you'll be able to apply it in the time in Jacob's trouble. What to do, what's coming next, where to go. You know, the Spirit's going to guide you and lead you if Yahweh Shem Yahushua is working with you, and that's our peace. You know, Abaratazah will be those men. You know, whatever the lot may be for us, that it all works out in the will and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
What did Yahweh tell his disciples when they couldn't cast out that demon? He said, I need to, fast, meditate, and pray more, because you lack faith.
All
right, moving on. To seek victory only when it is within the ken of the common herd is not the acme of excellence. Neither is it the acme of excellence if you fight and conquer and the whole empire says, well done. To lift an autumn hair is no sign of great strength. To see the sun and moon is no sign of sharp sight. To hear the noise of thunder is no sign of quick ear. What the ancients called a clever fighter is one who not only wins, but excels in winning with ease. Hence, his victories bring him neither reputation for wisdom nor credit for courage. He wins his battles by making no mistakes. Making no mistakes is what establishes the certainty of victory, for it means conquering an enemy that is already defeated. So, can you get a
Exodus 23?
No, there's a precept. Isaiah 33:6. I said, thy wisdom and knowledge is stability at thy times. And what's the other one? It must be circumspect.
I can't think of it.
Isaiah, redeeming the times for the days of evil.
That's right. You can use it to record.
This is Isaiah 33 and verse 6, and it reads, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation, the fear of the Lord is his treasure.
So, I said before, when these things come about, you want to have this knowledge, wisdom, understanding. You want to have this truth. You want to have it deeply rooted into your heart, which is your mind, because there's going to be just all negative things going on about, and you just got to learn how to turn a negative into a positive. Got to make the best of the situation and just keep it moving, no matter how hard it gets or how scary it is. You just got to keep that faith and just keep pushing, because there's going to be times when you're just going to be where it seems like you're just down and out and you're going to lose that faith, but you have to remember what you're striving for. It's that crown. You lose sight of that, then you're just lost, and your run's going to come to a dead end. All right. Circumspect. Ephesians 5:15. Sloppy on that one.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5. Sloppy.
That's Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15.
I just slipped the page.
Yeah.
All right, this is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, and verse 15. And it reads, See then that ye Walk circumspect, not as fools, but as wise.
Good on. Wait a minute, keep reading.
Slocky. My eyes lost it. Slocky, redeeming the time because the days are evil.
So, by walking circumspect, making sure that you don't make any mistakes, making sure that you don't slip up or get caught at the wrong time. That's why you gotta just keep a sharp eye on things. If you see something going over here that doesn't seem right to you, and the spirit's telling you to like move away or go somewhere else, that's your time to to move, basically to maneuver. It's like playing a game of chess. You just gotta know when to move and where to move and how to move, because, like I said, we're coming into times where anything can happen at any moment. All right, it says, hence the skillful fighter puts himself into a position which makes defeat impossible and does not miss the moment for defeating the enemy. Thus it is that in war, the victorious strategist only seeks battle after the victory has been won, whereas he who is destined to defeat first fights and afterwards looks for victory. The consummate leader cultivates the moral law and strictly adheres to method and discipline. Thus it is in his power to control success. Exodus 23 and 22.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 22. And it reads, and when ye reap the harvest of your land... Exodus 23 and 22 reads, alright, and it shall come to pass, while my glory passeth by, that I will put thee in a cleft of the rock, and I will cover thee.
Exodus 23 and 22. That's 30.
Oh my gosh, it's like it. Mine's playing tricks on me. This is Exodus 23 and 22. It says, but if thou shalt indeed obey his voice, and all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto thine enemies, and an adversary unto thine adversaries.
Right, so I'll read it again. It says, the consummate leader cultivates the moral law and strictly adheres to method and discipline, and thus it is in his power to control success. So that method and discipline is basically following the doctrine, keeping the law, statute, and commandments. And thus it is in his power to control success. And it is whose power? Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So if you keep his law, statutes, and commandments and adhere to his sound doctrine that he's laid before you, if you follow it to the best of your ability, he will be an enemy to your enemies. He will have your back. He'll fight them for you. And he's going to keep that he's going to have that hedge of protection over you during these times. So as long as you adhere to the law, statute, and commandments, and this, like I said, method and discipline, fear of the Lord is his treasures, roughly paraphrasing. In respect of military method, we have, firstly, measurement; secondly, estimation of quantity; thirdly, calculation; fourthly, balancing of chances; fifthly, victory. Measurement owes its existence to earth, estimation of quantity to measurement, calculation to estimation of quantity, balancing of chances to calculation, and victory to balancing of chances. Go ahead, Proverbs 16:11.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 11, and it reads, a just weight and a balance are Yahweh's, all the weight of the bags are his work.
So learning how to, balance things out, keeping that balanced measure of this and that, having a little too much of this, it could it could lead to you, neglecting what you lack in other areas, and having a little less and having not enough of this, it's gonna stump you. So you want to keep a balance across the board in all things. Kind of keep your area sharp in a way in all things, so that way, like I said, keeping that balance. Because a little too much, you're gonna neglect the other things that you're working on, and a little less of this, you're gonna fall short in that area. Next is a victorious army opposed to a routed one is a pound's weight placed in the scale against a single grain. Psalms 144:1.
So 144:1.
Okay.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 144, and verse 1. It says, "Blessed be the Lord my strength, which teacheth my hands to war and my fingers to fight."
So it is through Yahweh Shai that we are going to have the power to stand against those who are against us, to fight back against the enemy. For after all, he is our power. Next is the onrush of a conquering force is like the bursting of pent-up waters into a chasm 1,000 fathoms deep. And Jeremiah 51:20.
Oh, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51. Slakia. That was Isaiah. Jeremiah, chapter 51. Slakia, 51 and 20, right?
Yeah.
This is book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 20, and it reads, "There are my battle axe and my weapons, and my weapons of war, for which thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kings." So like kingdoms.
So the onrush of a conquering force is like a bursting of pent-up waters into a chasm 1,000 fathoms deep. So, Lord willing, we're of that elect number, and when we get that spiritual power, we're going to be like that bursting of a pent-up water into a chasm 1,000 fathoms deep. So we're going to be an unstoppable force. The nations, they're going to try and fight us, but ultimately they're going to lose. You won't be able to fathom the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai once this elect get that spiritual power. It's going to be something of the likes of which the world has never seen. So that's the end of chapter 4 for tactical disposition. I hope this lesson was edifying to the sheep. All praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash.
Double honors and respect to the elders and the apostle Great Millstone who have been preaching and teaching this truth with 144% sincerity. And to the Akim and Akbath that listen and learn, I say Shalom. And to the elect house of David, we give you our utmost sincere salutations. See you on the next lesson, Lord willing. Kwan Yasharallah, Wa Abba Babal.
Shalom.